makes it easy. I
Yeah.
can tell where we start and end. Hey, we're starting. It's the Comic Book Bone Zone. This is we're boning it up. This is number 26. Heather might bone out the baby today during the podcast. We'll keep an eye out on it. It's a Labor Watch Heather version.
2023.
Yeah, I was like, I don't have an answer. I don't have something else for that.
Yep.
So I'm Champ Champenstein.
I'm Heather Hadfield. I'm gonna fix my hair here. There we go.
And we're here to give you comic book fix for the last like couple weeks. Heather has a stack of comics, but most of them are the same ones I have. But it helps. It helps for when I get tired talking.
Yeah. Yeah, I was very proud of how many comics I ended up with like the last 2 weeks. I was like, there's no way I'm not gonna have anything to talk about. And then joke's on me, I have 3. So
We still have lots to talk about though.
yeah, we have a lot. There's a lot of like first issues too. So very good. Okay. I'm gonna go.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. I have Realm of X. This is issue 1. This is part of Fall of X. I did not read the Hellfire Gala this year. And I feel like I probably should have, because it would have explained a few things here. Like they did a pretty good job of like explaining leading up to it and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like to get like a full understanding of exactly what had happened like right before this, I probably should have read it. But I guess after the Hellfire Gala, the group of X people, they all end up in like different spots because they get thrown out. Something, I don't know, but it was just mentioned in here. Again, I should have read it. But this series follows Magic, Mirage, Typhoid Mary, Dust, Marrow, and Curse, and they end up on Vanaheim. Okay, if you know anything about Thor, then you know that about the world tree, and then you know about all the different kinds of worlds and stuff. Vanaheim is one of those worlds that is always mentioned in like Norse mythology and stuff like that, and it's like where magic essentially takes place. Like Thor's mom is Vanaheim, and that's why she knows magic, and that's why she was able to teach Loki, like all this kind of stuff. So that's where they end up with a handful of other mutants. But they kind of walk into another battle that's like happening on Vanaheim, and it turns out like,
oh, come on.
But they're trying to find Curse because Curse is getting up to some shenanigans here. So yeah, that's basically, it just explains kind of what the prophecy is, what they need to do, and why they need to find Curse like immediately. This is written by Torunn Grønbekk, who did do Thor after Donny Cates, and I really, really like Torunn Grønbekk as a writer. I think she also did the Valkyrie Jane Foster series.
I would say I remember she did some Jane Foster series for sure.
Yeah. And so I enjoyed this. I you know, it's only like 4 or 5 issues, which is kind of why I wanted to read it anyway, because I was like, yeah, I like the writer, and I do like Vanaheim, but the group of mutants I've never been like particularly fond of, I guess.
Yeah.
I haven't like not like disliked them, but then the art is also pretty good.
Yeah, it looks nice.
So overall, I thought it was like a good issue. It was, you know, I am interested, and I do want to read whatever is left. If it turns into like ongoing for some reason, cut me out. But I will do it.
Yeah,
it's just a nice little story. That's all I got.
Okay. Well, I have the first issue of Penguin. This is covers by Brian Boland. It's really, really good. But the story is by Tom King, and then that is Batman. God damn it, y'all. I'm sorry. Rafael de la Torre and Marcelo Maiolo does the colors. book looks great. Like the art is like very, very, very good.
Yep.
Looks looks really good. So this is a little story about Penguin. This takes place after the events of Killing Time. So Penguin is living in another city, just trying to be a chill guy, just not kill anyone or rough anyone up, just be a normal guy. Um, a detective who is basically trying to catch Batman decides to use the Penguin to get to Batman and kind of twists him, does some things to like make him angry, and that's kind of the beginning of this story. I personally really enjoyed it. I think like the art is one of the things that really, really sold me. There were
Mhm.
different perspectives too, like you heard the story from different people's point of views. And then it was also just like really, really hated the cop. Like really just disliked uh everything that she was about. It made me incredibly angry.
That's good. That means that's a good written cop.
It was just like, you are just the lowliest piece of shit that has ever existed, and I hope the worst. I hope the worst for you in this story.
Love
Um,
that. Love that
yeah.
energy going into it.
So yeah, that's what I took into that book. I really, yeah, I really, really enjoy it. I think if you like the Penguin, it's definitely worth checking out. Again, this cover is just
Really good.
phenomenal. Uh
Disgusting.
yeah, it's like there's that Frank Quietly one I got when the Gotham Villains
Mhm.
book came out, and that is also a very grotesque penguin. And I just like the best ways to draw him, looks best that way.
Yeah, I feel like that's really the only way that you can have him is like when he just looks gross because that makes the most sense for like his character.
Hmm.
Because no man is gonna go by the name the Penguin and be like good looking.
And like eating raw, like lots of raw fish. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-mm,
I'm gonna
disgusting.
I do think that's worth picking up. And then next I have the Dark Spaces. This is the Hollywood special. This is just, that Dark Spaces, I guess, universe. I don't know how to just describe it because it just kind of feels like a line, but it's kind of like horror themed. This deals with a actress in the like 30s. It doesn't have a time frame here. And she ends up kind of being disowned by her daughter via a letter and is going to this mining town where they are all trapped down in the mines. But just like all of these kind of stories, there's something like a little more twisted going on.
Right.
But yeah, I enjoyed it as a whole. I don't know if I'll keep reading it. It wasn't bad, but I also am just like I got a lot that I'm reading right now.
Yeah,
So I
and
don't.
isn't there another like Dark Spaces story running as well?
Yeah, there's that Dark Spaces Good Deeds
That's right.
story.
Yeah.
And that I really like that story a lot. Um it's just I don't know. This is written by Jeremy Lambert and the art is by Claire Rowe and the colors are
Okay.
by Jordy Beller. It looks really good, and like I said, it was interesting, and it has like that you know
Yeah.
that 1930s like vibe,
The
40s.
pulpy noir.
Yeah, yeah, that sort of feel. But I'm reading a lot.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then lastly, I have Miss Truesdale. This is in the fall of Hyperborea. This is by Mike Mignola and Jesse Longren, and this is the last issue. The story was really interesting. The art was really, really good. There's not a lot to say about it. It's just kind of like little short story in the Hellboy universe, but I think it
Did
was
you
worth
like it?
reading. Yeah, I really, really liked it. I liked the ending a lot. I liked the story as a whole, but I really liked how all of the pieces were kind of like connected and put together, and like I don't know. It was worth like the long haul of it, because when I got to the end, I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So
Very good. Okay.
how's the baby? Still in there?
Moving. He's making waves.
All right.
Damn it. Disgusting fingerprints on the back. How does this always my hands are clean.
I don't know.
Alright.
So anyway, we have the Cole. This is issue number 1. This is by Kelly Thompson and Mattia de Eloise. And then
Elise? Yeah, I
yeah,
don't know.
feel like we're close. And then the letters are by Hassanat Samene Allahu. I really liked this. It just all like I think it was the art that I really liked.
Yeah, no, I can definitely second that. Because we had talked about it like briefly. You're introduced to this group of young adults, I would say.
Yeah.
Who they all obviously have their own issues at home. They're all meeting up at a very specific time, like what, 3 o'clock in the morning, to go to an area to record. They're filming like a movie or something, and it has to be done at this very specific time. But yeah, the main girl, I don't know their names. I cannot remember.
Oh, there's no way I'll remember anyone's name right now.
Maybe eventually. But she is dealing with the, I'm gonna say, loss of her brother, but by that I mean he's missing, like he's not dead, he's actually lost. One of the girls gets hit by her stepdad. They all have issues essentially, and yeah, they're all just going to a spot to film, and then she's also trying to like find clues about where her brother went. It's interesting, but I do feel like there were like way too many pieces moving for a first issue. And it was hard to follow with all of the introductions of the new characters.
Yeah, I didn't mind kind of just like jumping right into like the story and like them like doing their thing. I think the thing that was like a lot was like, yeah, opening, like giving you pieces of their backstory without like, I guess, delving deeper, which I'm sure they will. But it's
Right.
one of those things where you're like, you don't really understand the main character's like real like intentions until like the like very end of the issue. Something I did like was like being introduced to her through like all of the different characters. That was like an interesting like way to go about it. But yeah, it did feel like there was like just too much going on. There's just like too many pieces.
Yeah. And I mean, it seems like it's going to be one of those stories where it all makes sense. Like there's a reason why all this happened in this first issue. Yeah, it was just a lot. Maybe it was the art style as well, where it just felt too real.
Yeah, that's true. You kind of get sucked in there.
Yeah, because the art is so good. So good. So yeah, it was a good issue. It was just those were the very small issues that we had with it.
Yeah, for sure. 5 out of 5 popcorns.
Yeah, I would agree. 5 out of 5.
All right, I'm ready.
We both have The Immortal Thor. This is issue number 1. It's an Al Ewing book, which I was actually pretty excited about. It's literally just a Thor story, which I needed a new one, so I decided to give it a try. And everyone knows how much I love Thor, and so I was pleased. I was very pleased with it. I liked the art a lot. Martin Coppolo, and of course Matthew Wilson on colors.
Yeah, the colors are so good.
I don't feel like I've read a Thor book where Matthew Wilson was not on the colors.
Did he
that
do
I can remember anyway?
Did he do the colors for the Donny Cates run?
I can't remember, but I'm going to assume so, because I remember thinking that the art was like the one cool thing about it, I'm gonna look it up real quick because now I
Okay.
need to know. I might have just fibbed to everyone.
Yeah, I mean, this is just I don't know. I really liked the art a lot, but if I told Heather this earlier, it just like felt like it just kept going, and I wanted it to I wanted it to end. I wanted to get to like the point it was trying to make, and that was just like, I don't know, the main thing to me.
Yeah, Matthew Wilson does colors.
Okay.
So, I'm- it's crazy. He does it for every single Thor story that I've ever read. All right.
Anything else besides your undying love for Matthew Wilson on Thor books?
No, I think that's it. It did the writing of this particular issue reminded me of that one issue from the Hulk run. I think it was Immortal Hulk that Out Ewing also did. It was like it was a crazy issue, like number 25. It was the only one that I ever read of that entire series, and it was because you can read it as a standalone.
Yeah.
It was really good. It was really good, and this kind of reminded me it had that same kind of like flow with the writing, and I thought it was really cool. So
Sure. I could have just, like I said to you, I could have just not been in that mood for it. And it was just like long. So it was just like, it's
yeah,
just
no,
being
it
a
was
baby.
very long, very long. It took me like, I don't know, I read comics pretty fast, I feel like, and that it
Mhm.
took me a minute to like get through it. I think the thing I liked the most about it though was how they were dealing with the Jotunheim and stuff, and Loki just kind of shows up and it was like, oh, I don't want to, I'm not king anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. Like this is,
Yeah.
I'm not interested in this anymore. They can take care of themselves. Like
Yeah.
just doing what Loki does. I fucking love it.
All right. Speaking of Loki,
Yep.
perfect
Speaking
seg.
of the devil, this is Loki. This is issue number 3. Um, I just wanted to have the Merca Andolfo cover
Oh
as
yeah, yeah.
well, which I thought was really cool. They didn't have any variants for number 4. What is that all about?
And it's the last issue. That's
Yeah, stupid. Anyway, Loki is currently trying to find all the pieces to the ship, and he ends up. What planet?
uh
Uh,
I thought they said it right at the beginning, but
I thought so too. I swear I read this. This came out last week, and so I forget things very easily. But anyway, he ends up with oh my god, I can't even think of their name. Hulkling and I almost said The Witcher.
it's right on the front. Wiccan and Hulkling.
So yeah, whatever planet they're on is where Loki is.
So yes, they are on this planet. They're telling Loki kind of the story of how it is able to maintain its people and like have its son, which is and basically having a man trapped in the sun whom they all believe is basically like a heretic or just like a bad guy.
A god kind of in a
But
way, but
it's
yeah,
like he's like a like they don't trust him.
right.
But basically Loki finds out that he is suffering, but they have this dilemma that, you know, if they kill this guy, they kill the sun, which will, you know, be very impactful on the people and the planet that they're on. Um, and then Loki kind of just does what he they need to do anyway.
Loki makes decisions that no one else will.
Yeah, it's like I do think in the end that was a better decision, but do understand like the moral dilemma of the larger picture of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree because I did go back and forth on that as well because always my first is like, well, I mean, Loki doesn't do things to like there's reasons behind everything that he does. But also
Yeah, I think this issue, like, I don't know, this book is so good, and I think it is like stuff like that where it puts you in these like quandaries where you also think about it too. Like you end up having these like, I don't know, big feelings about this like decision that was made. And I honestly, like, I'm really bummed out that there's only one more issue. Like I really wish there was more because it's so good and so like well told and like well drawn. And I don't know, it seems like a disservice to like anyone who's like an actual Loki fan to like let this end at 4 issues, or don't let like not letting Dan Waters continue like some sort of Loki story.
yeah, I feel like I don't know if Dan Waters was to do Loki stories like once a year, I would die a happy person. Like
Yeah.
I would be super pleased with it because I haven't gotten like a good solid like Loki story since Agent of Asgard, and I have liked all of the Loki stories that have
Hmm.
come out for one reason or another, but Agent of Asgard is the one where Loki makes all these decisions, like in this particular issue,
Hmm.
that always make you question, well, like, is Loki like a good or a bad person? Loki's gray, always.
So anyway, yeah, the book's real good.
Yeah, super good. I love it. I love Loki. Okay.
Okay, baby's still in there.
Yeah. This tea is not very good, but I'm supposed to be drinking it, so I just don't like tea very much.
Oh, it's a bummer. Tea's the best.
If it was like ice cold tea, I think I would be okay with it, but I don't have any ice. And so
Oh.
I brewed it hot and then waited for it to cool off. So it's like fine. It's, I like fruit teas more than anything, but it's just, if I had some pineapple juice in it, I bet it would be real good. I don't know. These are things I crave. Okay. So I have Night Terrors. This is Nightwing issue number 2. This I don't know, just concludes the Nightwing series for this. I don't really know how to explain it. He gets out of his nightmare. Like discovers at some point that what is happening is like actually a nightmare. Like Scarecrow is the one who has to be like, this isn't real, dude. What's wrong with you? Because he's doing all these crazy things in Arkham. But yeah, I thought that was a very funny, like, it's not a twist necessarily because it happens very early on in the book, but like Scarecrow and him are just like hanging out this whole time, just trying to find Oracle, and they finally find her. And yeah, and then when I don't know, I'm glad that these are only 2 issues long because
Oh
it
yeah.
is just, I liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun, but had it been like any more than that, I would have been like, nah, not interested. But the only reason I did pick it up is because I love that artist a lot, and
Yeah.
there were some really really good pages here. Because the one thing that I do like about this artist a lot is the way that they do like angry teeth,
Yeah.
and there were a lot of angry teeth in this, and I thought it was very cool.
Who's that artist again? I can't remember their name off the top of my head.
I can never pronounce it. Let me get to the page so I can actually like, okay. Danielle D.
Nicolo.
Nicola.
Yeah. Okay. I always get him and Simone De Mayo
Yeah,
mixed up
they're
for some
very easy
reason.
to get mixed up.
But
Yeah.
their art styles are still like completely different
Yeah.
at the same time. So it's just like, how do I keep doing this?
It's the D.
It could be easily. Okay, I guess I'll go. Are
Mhm.
you okay?
Yeah,
Um,
done.
First, I have this last issue of Daredevil. This is the last issue of Chip Zdarsky and Marco Cicchetto's run on Daredevil. Um, everybody's the people that Matt has saved from hell. They're getting back to their regular lives, but Foggy and Elektra kind of keep seeing like glimpses of Matt around the city. And then in the end of this, like Elektra kind of has like a talk with a priest who looks like Matt Murdock. And then the book ends. Yeah,
Like a Boondock Saints thing.
I guess. I haven't watched Boondock Saints since I was like 18 years old. Uh,
As funny as it was, the reference doesn't even make any sense. I just thought it would be funny to say.
but yeah, I mean, it felt like the ending just like, was kind of, it like felt like the beats were right, but kind of felt rushed at the same time.
Mhm.
It felt like the character that they had introduced previously, Goldie, like he's supposed to like kind of like have been in Matt's life his whole life and kind of like had control over it, like some sort of like heavenly control. And that character kind of felt like unused at the end. Um, I don't know. It felt like there was supposed to be more, and then they were like, well, we got to finish this and start
Yeah.
over.
This is the last issue we have to do this.
Yeah. So I don't know. It wasn't bad. I wish it had been given like the time it needed or something.
Yeah.
Um. Anyway, if you like Daredevil, probably worth it. At least the first like couple story arcs before this like renumbering happened. Are you okay over there?
Yeah. I was squeezing my tea bag out and I ripped it.
No.
So
Okay.
love that.
So the next I have Xeno. This is issue number 3. This is the last issue of this. It's like just a little anthology of different like kind of like horror stories, sci-fi stories. I really liked like every single story in this issue, like a lot. I thought they were all very fun, very interesting. Um, there's one where like these people are in the middle of the forest and kind of get like pulled into this town that ends up being like kind of like a live, like weird fungus thing. Uh, there's one where these space explorers like end up killing these giant slugs that live on this like planet and decide to eat it, and they find out that like if you eat it you actually are turning into a slug, and they're eating one of their like uh I don't know, mates, the people who they came down to the planet with. So yeah, there's just like all the stories like for this book have been kind of like that, but this was, I don't know, particularly good. I really liked it.
All right. Very good. Is that one kind of expensive, if I remember correctly?
It is a little expensive. I think it is. Oh, I guess it's not that expensive. It's $5.99,
Okay.
but one bunch of little tiny guys,
All
different
right.
creators. So, and then next I have. I'm gonna help myself. I wanted to keep reading it. This is Barnstormers. This is issue number 2. This is the Scott Snyder and Tula Lotay book. So it looks great.
Mhm.
Looks fantastic. Story's just basically, a girl runs away with a guy who does plane tricks after kind of being forced to marry a rich man for like farming reasons. And so the rich guy is like chasing after her. And it's like the stories about them like trying to get away. So, the like good pulp story there.
Mhm.
Ends up they get in this chase here in this particular issue, and end up burning down like a like I don't know, a restaurant, some sort
Okay.
of club. But it's not like the their fault. The high flyers, I'm gonna call them that because I'm never gonna remember anyone's name, even though I feel like they do have like fairly because their idea is like hawk and dove. Anyway, who cares? Uh it's not their fault. It's the rich man's fault, but he finds a way to like pin it on them and get,
Of course.
get the world rolled after them. Anyway, it's exactly like those types of stories are. Like it feels like that. I don't have any problems with it because I'm just like, yeah, I kind of want to read this.
You knew what to expect.
Yeah, it kind of feels like a romance, like one of those weird romance novels.
And I love those.
Yeah, I mean, I could let you borrow this, so you might like it.
I would, yeah, I bet I would love it.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes. Greasy fingers again, you know. This is Batman Superman World's Finest. This is issue number 18. Yeah, number 18. And this is just, it starts the origin story of how the two of them started working together.
Oh, I just realized I didn't read this.
It's very cute. I really liked this issue.
Yeah, no, I'll go back and read it. I just like for some reason I thought I had read it, so I kept like putting it on the bottom of my pile, but I was like looking at the art and I was like, no, I don't remember this.
Oh goodness. Yeah, it was, I had a lot of fun. I mean, this book is just a lot of fun in general, but this issue was very cute.
And the art in this one's by Travis Moore, and Travis Moore's art is also just real fucking good too.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'll read this, put this off to the side to read later. What happens when you get too many comic books?
Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot of books. Okay. Next, we both have Night Terrors Detective Comics. This is issue number 2. This also completes this little story about Gordon and his Hellraisers.
Yeah, I really fucking love this story. I think it's really, really good.
Yeah, the art for it just is so fucking good.
Yeah, I like how the story like really like gets at the core of like what, Gotham is and like like who Gordon is and like what it means. I like it. I liked it kind of leaving off on this like note of like maybe these things that they've introduced here are real, which is like even more unsettling.
Yeah, because those things are scary. What are they called? I can never
Penta priest.
Yeah, Penta priest. Yeah. Much like, the Hellraisers. What are they called? The
Cenobites.
Cenobites. I almost called them symbiotes. The
No,
Cenobites,
that's a different thing.
completely different. They give you a wish, but they always like twist what the wish ends up being. So there's a lot of distrust and destruction that happens.
Yeah, just a real cool like creepy like character design there too, and like giving them a way to like be called forth was cool. Yeah, no, definitely real big Hellraiser vibes, but
yeah,
I will take it.
I do like, this is one that like I would even recommend, just like not even like a part of that series, be like, it's 2 issues, it's a nice little like horror story, it's really good.
Yeah, you really don't have to know anything about what the fuck Night Terrors shit is happening to read this, because and then the way it ends too, it is just like leaves it just so open in such a way where it's like it's totally chill.
Another great Dan Waters book.
Yeah, the guy's killing it, just writing some real good, some bangers,
if you will. Yes, bangers. Okay, and then next we have Dark Knights of Steel. This is issue number 12. Finally, this is the last issue. We get the conclusion of the little war that's happening between the 3 kingdoms.
Just gotta say,
I don't want to spoil anything, but my god, it was so good.
I want to say Amanda Waller sucks in like any universe that she is in. She is like the absolute worst. Annoying. Yeah, I really liked this issue. There were parts where I don't want to say it felt like disappointing, but it felt like that we hit the high points already and this kind of just like leveled off like too hard.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it kind of having like an open ending where we could see more because I do like the universe that was built here. But if I didn't get any more, that would also be absolutely fine because it was
Yes.
just like a very well told story. It had like, twists and turns and it was, worth the time.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with all of what you said. And there were parts of it that were a little frustrating, like, people didn't get in trouble with things like they should have, and then it was just never touched on again. But I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it, even though I feel like it took forever for the whole story to be released, like years.
I mean, I think it did at least take like what, 3 years?
Yeah, it was something crazy like that.
Here, I can look up when the first issue came out.
Um, and I do have the variant because I've been getting all the variants, of course. Doesn't say who does. Oh god, this one, but this is the B cover for it. Pretty cute. They're all working together.
So first published November 2nd, 2021. So 2 years.
Okay. And I don't really have anything to say about it anyway. So this is Tales of Suspense. It's issue number 2. Sorry, it sounded like someone was knocking on the door. This is just like the anthology of stories through that, what are they called? Syzygy?
Synergy.
Yeah. But the two stories, Landlord 13 and Dream Weaver, they're just continuations of the stories that had started in the first issue. So I don't really have anything about it. They were
Okay.
they were just stories. They were fine.
Were they
I'm
the
not sure
same?
how many.
Are they the same stories from the first one?
Yeah, it's just like the second part. There's nothing extra. And I'm not sure how many issues this is supposed to be in the long run. Oh, it says next month the dream is over. So I guess we'll see. Because it could just mean that one Dreamweaver story will be done, but the rest
Yeah.
of it keeps going, and maybe there's like a new story. I don't know. We'll see. I'll give it one more issue, and then if there's any more after that, then I probably just won't read anymore. Because I do enjoy it to an extent. Like I like the art and stuff for it, but I just don't really have any interest in it otherwise.
All right. Okay, well, I guess I'll go. I have Bone Orchard Tenement. This is issue number 3. This just continues the story of some 7 people who live in a apartment were picked to live in an apartment building and go through hell together.
Oh, okay, so it's like that one Halloween movie with Busta Rhymes.
I don't they just actually live in this apartment building together. This kid ends up getting a key from an old man who dies, opens up a door to some fucked up dimension, and these people who live in the apartment complex or building are like, let's go down, let's explore this creepy basement place, because the whole world is now like weird and gross. Where else are we gonna go? So
I
they
mean,
do
this
that.
all makes sense to me. This is all something I would do.
So they do that, and some of them end up dying, but the 7 people were like introduced to at the very beginning, like the very first issue, are the people who survive that we're gonna see, I guess, go through whatever trials and tribulations are here. Kind of gave me House of Leaves vibes,
Oh, okay.
just like the way like the building is now. Oh, I don't know. I really like it. Again, I think it's been the more interesting of all of these like Bone Orchard books so far, but we'll see. I didn't realize it's like 10 issues, I think.
Yeah, I just discovered that like a couple days ago when I was looking at the new previews. I was like, that's weird. I thought for sure it would only be like 5, but no, they're doing it. There's 10 whole issues for that.
Yeah, I know. I was also shocked because I found out the same way and I was like, oh, okay, 10, huh? All right. I'm ready, I guess.
You're gonna have to be.
Next I have Newburn. This is issue number 10. 10 issues of this.
10
This
issues.
this newspaper lady, I guess a journalist is what they're called.
Yes. The newspaper lady.
This journalist is trying to track down some information on Newburn and what he's been up to and like how he's involved with the criminal underground. Um, and she feels like she's getting close. I don't know. I don't know. She might be getting close. And Newburn's getting close to also getting like shit fucked up, his shit rocked. So it feels like everything's like fraying at the edges.
Hmm.
And it's like it's really like the beats are really well done in this issue.
Does he still have that woman that he was working with? Is she
Yes.
still a part of it? Okay.
Yes, her name is Emily.
Emily. Okay.
I let me double check that, but yes.
All right. Very good. I was wondering about that.
But yes, she's still like a pretty like integral part of like this book because she's, studying under him to basically kind of like take his place and he is yeah, gross. And he has like covered for
He's the one
her.
who's under him.
Uh she he has covered for her, so she's like kind of trying to decipher if that means like he's willing to throw her under the bus or if he's willing to like actually take care of her. So
Right. If she can like trust him or not.
yeah, it's good. It's good. And then last of my books by myself, I have Something is Killing the Children. This is issue number 32. Oh yeah, like my shirt. Yes, I was like,
Yeah.
what is
I could have
happening?
just said it, but I was pointing
I was
instead.
like, this is a Dan Mora cover. I thought that's what you're pointing at.
I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
That's good
He
too.
actually shared this cover like a while back,
Hmm.
and I was trying to get it then, but it ended up not being out till like now. So anyway, I'm
There
very
it is.
excited. I'm very excited to get this Dan Mora cover. I've been waiting for it all my life. Or at least like a year because it says Dan Mora 21.
Damn.
Uh anyway, this just is a really good issue of Something is Killing the Children. I'm not gonna lie, this issue was like incredibly good in my personal opinion. Um Somebody else kind of was like, well, it was kind of slow. And it's mainly you just like dealing with like the emotional impact like of all the stuff like Erica has been dealing with in the last like I don't know, I guess I don't know how time works in this book. So like I'm gonna say like a year, maybe
Hmm.
like a year and a half, like she's just been chased by this woman or been chased by this killer who is willing to like kill anyone close to her and has she's basically separated from anyone who like cares about her. So yeah, this issue was really 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 good and it gives you just like I think more like it humanizes Erica like a lot where like the other issues it's not that she's like not human but she's like just so focused on like what her mission is or like killing the monsters and taking care of other people that like she can kind of feel like one
She's more
dimensional.
machine.
Yeah. So this like really gives you a glimpse into like the weight and the burden of like everything she's been doing. So I don't know. I really liked it. I thought it was really well done. The art was amazing. I don't know. I'm really excited and interested and scared to see what happens in like the next upcoming issues. So there's a really cool like connecting cover for like the next couple that was just like solicited in
Mhm.
this last like new previews. So it's tempting to get because it's like looks real cool.
I'll also go look them up once we're done.
But that's all I have to say. As always, I think it is worth checking out. Something is Killing the Children. It is an extremely good book and worth your time.
All right, very good. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
So we have Earth Divers, Ice Age. This is issue number 9. Um, I don't really know what to say.
Yeah, it's basically Tawny completes kind of the mission not that she went back for, but something she felt like needed to be done.
Mm-hmm.
This book is like kind of confusing,
Yeah, it
but
is. And I think, and I know we've talked about this before, and I think it's just because of like the internal like narration that's going on, and then the way that she is talking, but like no one else can understand her. So
mhm.
it's like a weird where you are stuck in her head with her thought process that is not your own. And so it's hard to like understand.
Yeah, I think for me too, I kind of forgot how she got put back in time. So it's just like, because I feel like that happened, it didn't happen in between the two story arcs, but happened during the first story arc.
Right.
So it's just like I kind of lost a thread that I think I have to go back and like refresh myself about how it happened. Basically, though,
Yeah,
nobody here gets happy endings. You fuck with time, it doesn't work.
yeah. If you've watched the Butterfly Effect, then you know. Like it's just not, you shouldn't be doing that.
I think Donnie Darko really put it in perspective, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay,
That's true.
I'm ready. Does
Um,
this this so this is the sorry, this is the end of the Ice Age one, and the next one is something else, or
I think so. That's what it seemed like.
okay.
Well, but it says to be continued, so it might be still part of Ice Age, but it's like it's her story arc.
Okay.
So maybe it's her like going back to her time with what she had done. I don't know. I don't know. It just says to be continued. So I don't know if that just means like the series itself will continue or her story arc. I guess we'll see because it looks like the future is coming.
Yeah, I was like, it does not look like the time we're in, that's for sure.
No, unless there's some weird shit going on in these stories, which I also would not be surprised about. But you know, okay. Next, we have The Lonesome Hunters, The Wolf Child. This is the second issue of this, and it is the second part of the story to The Lonesome Hunters.
Mhm.
Our main character, Howard, and the little child Lupe are trying to stay ahead of the group of horrible zealots that are hunting them down. But they run into the wolf child. And now they have to deal with the locals who are trying to figure out where the wolf is, thinking that it's like, an actual wolf and stuff and not whatever this is.
Yeah, this issue was really good.
Yeah, it was very, very good. I don't know, I just really like these stories a lot because that
Yeah.
first story arc was incredible.
Yeah, I think it's just like I really like Howard and Lupe a lot, and like I like the dynamic between the two because in this issue, Lupe is very adamant of like having like helping this like child regardless of like what she knows,
Mm-hmm.
and like Howard is like so hesitant to do so because he's aware of like what could happen,
Mm-hmm.
like consequences of that, and she hasn't had those experiences yet. Not that like she would any normal person would have the experience of like supernatural things happening in the forest and you know local police sheriffs and terrible people wanting to just shoot whatever it is. um yeah, just real good stuff.
Yeah. I do like also as part of the relationship how he's just trying to like protect her. like keep her
Mhm.
safe because he knows that she's a child. She should not be doing this kind of stuff to begin with, and it's his job to like keep her safe and alive and stuff. And
Yeah.
I liked seeing that panic when he didn't know like where she was.
Yeah. And she's a child who's had like very traumatic experiences like herself. So yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, so that's by Tyler Cook. He does both the art and the writing.
very good. Just a good, solid little story.
Okay, I'm ready.
Next, we have The Oddly Pedestrian Life of Christopher Chaos. It's issue number 3. This is the 3 kids getting together and revealing their darkest secrets to each other.
Again, reiterate that it just feels like an Archie horror book.
This one, yeah, for sure, especially with the introduction of the the man. The man,
The
I can't think of
the
who he
the
is.
father,
Yeah, I don't know,
uh,
just the weird culty vibes that are going on too. Like, yeah, this
Father
definitely,
Andreas,
yes, Andreas.
Andreas, Andreas. I don't know. It's he says it after the page he like walks in the door. Um, yeah, the basically like Van Helsing
Van Helsing is who I
Van
was thinking of. Yeah.
Van Helsing religious cult.
hmm It is a lot of fun, I think. But
Oh
it's
yeah.
also just so goofy.
Yeah, I say it's an Archie horror book with the utmost respect.
All
Like,
the love.
oh yeah, it's just like it feels like a really good version of those stories. It's just yeah, it's really goofy and it's a lot of fun. The art is really good, but
hmm
it is something sometimes when I'm reading it, it's just like, am I too old for this?
That is exactly how I felt when I was reading this one, because when they were doing their whole confessions to each other, I was like, I, I think I'm too old to be like understanding what this is about. I think I
And
missed
and maybe it's just because it's like teenagers and like
it.
the silliness of the story, but yeah, it just like it does make me feel really old.
I
But
love
this
how
is
these kind of stories always have like a cult of adults that are beefing with teenagers. Like, kills me.
it's good, yeah. But this is by Tate Brown-Bull, the art's by Isaac Goodart, and then the colors are by Miguel Muerto. But yeah, it's just I don't know. If you're looking for fun, silly monster shit, that's it.
Yeah, literary supernatural teenage Archie shit. It's a lot of fun.
uh, okay, are you ready for next?
Yes. We have bursting from the pages of Barbaric. This is Queen of Swords.
Good, that was good.
Issue number 2.
Issue number 2.
Yeah, you just get a little bit more origin into like who Soren is and who Sarah is like related to her and stuff, and then you get fucking Dead Heart killing it in this issue. I love Dead Heart. I think she's my
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah, she's definitely like the best for sure. I really like this story or like this story and this like spin-off. Interested to see like where it goes.
It says, fortunately, Gabar, who's stuck inside Dead Heart's sword, is starting to really enjoy getting swung around by his new muscle mommy.
Wouldn't we all?
Yeah, I would love that.
That's what
But
your
yeah, no,
baby's
this
gonna be thinking.
muscle mommy.
Got my new muscle mommy.
Just gonna be doing this all the time. I am gonna be very strong when I have this baby.
So it's
All
still
right.
in there though.
As far as I can tell, yeah.
All right. You ready? So next we have the Many Deaths of Layla Starr, the pen and ink edition. I got the like, I guess UV treat spot one. I don't know. Felt like it was worth it. But this is just like the Something is Killing the Children one. you get the main story and pencils and ink, and then you have like little quick synopsises of like the page and or like the way they Philip, why am I fucking this up? Felipe Andrade,
Andrade, yeah.
like his process while making the story itself. Oh, I just love this book so much.
Yeah, it was really good. And the introduction about
Hmm.
how Felipe was like picked is very, very good.
It was I don't know. I'm glad for this book and this creative team, and I think if you have not read it, again, you most definitely should.
Um, that's gonna be me when my baby's born.
Except for you're not going to be trying to kill it.
This is more like it, actually.
It's the little ghost Braden.
Yeah. Yep. His name is Darius. All right.
And then so last, oh,
No, I was just gonna say that too. My book is damaged. Anyway.
so last we have a little ash can for rare flavors. It looks like Boom is going to be doing this for a few of their books because I know that there's one for a Tom King book coming out here soon. But this is by the same team that did Many Deaths of Layla Starr, so Ram V and Felipe Andrade. This was really good.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think one of my favorite things about this team when they work together is the mythology, I guess, that is
Mhm.
always included in their stories, or like the cultural differences. I guess it's just always really good. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I agree with that because with this story, I did like go back and look into the like painting of the god he was looking at,
Yeah.
Bakasura, and kind of like what Bakasura's deal was because the main character that we're going to be following is obviously that that mythological being.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I wanted to find out like a little more about them, and I thought that was like, oh, you made me like go do some research on this, which was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Just all of the little character design stuff in the back was
Yeah,
so
I was gonna say
cool.
like
Oh yeah, it just
I've
looks so
been
good.
like the colors and stuff too. Now, is this how it's going to be colored in
Have
the
you not seen any of the colors?
I haven't like
Oh,
no, I'm
it
trying
looks
not to like spoil it for myself because I
yeah.
like doing this first and seeing like the line art and stuff. So I do want to be surprised, but I
Oh,
really
Heather,
like
it looks so fucking good.
ugh,
You're gonna be so pleased. I think like I feel like this book will be like, I don't know if it'll be as good as Many Deaths of Layla Starr, but I think it has like the potential to just be like very fucking good. It's just, kind of about food and like culture. And I really, something else that sold me at the beginning of this is just like him talking about Anthony Bourdain was
yeah.
something that was like, oh, motherfucker. Like there's just really, I don't know. I'm really looking forward to like what's about to come.
Did you ever read Hungry Ghosts?
I read I think I read it, but I read it a long time ago, like when I started, like when I came back.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I just it just reminded me of that because of Anthony Bourdain and stuff. And
Hmm.
I know that book was really good too. Apparently, I never read it. I just didn't know if there were like any similarities between the two stories.
I don't think so. But again, it's been a long time since I've read the book. But yeah, I don't know. You know how much I love food, so I think that's also something that's really like gonna
Yeah.
make me go crazy. Like fucking like the wolf, that like wolf from the cartoons where he's like popping his eyes out and like howling. It's just like that's me over
Just
food in this
the
book.
hard eyes.
Yeah, where he shoots himself in the head because he's so horny.
Yeah,
Like that's me, but over a comic book.
that's fair. I love it. It is the Bone Zone, so
It is the Bone Zone. But yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. It's like this book, like this Afghan, it was just like, fuck. I want the actual book like right now. Like I understand why you're doing this, so you can get like, other people to pick it up. And I mean, I sold a bunch of these like Ashcans to people because big love to Ram V, but fuck, dude. I don't want to
I was
wait.
gonna say it would be super easy to sell. I fucked up. Let me tell you how I fucked up. I ordered this ash can and then totally forgot to put the main series like on my poll. Like
But you did,
completely
right?
forgot. I did
Okay.
end up, but like it was one of those things where I was last previews, I believe. I was like looking through the catalog and I was like, I'm not on this. I thought I was. No, I had just ordered the ash can and that was it.
And I think all the B covers like are by Danny. So it's been hard for like it's been real tempting for me to like want to get A and Bs. And I'm like, oh, you can't, there's no need for you to do that, dude. Like you have to have some weird limit. Anyway, just so everybody knows, this book comes out September 20th. So not that long of a wait, but
Mm.
too long at the same time.
I'll probably need someone to deliver them to me.
We can do that. We'll make it
Okay.
happen. So that's all I got. Do you have anything?
No, that's it. That's all I got.
All the comics. We did it. 2 weeks worth
2
of books.
weeks.
So yeah, go to your local comic book shops and buy some comics. September 20th, we have a book, we highly, highly suggest you go pick up the first issue because it's going to be very, very good. Go to your local libraries, check out some books, use their resources, do what you can to support them. Take care of your friends, take care of each other, be good to yourself. I think that's important. What you got, Heather?
Just read. Just read. Reading is so much fun and it makes you smarter and easier to have a conversation with.
These are true things. So yeah, Heather might be having her baby at any moment now in the
Oh
next
God, here he comes.
in the next 2 weeks. So, just keep an eye on our space. We'll tell you. We won't show you the baby. I'll show you pictures of Gambit or something instead. But it'll be cool. We'll have a little boner in our zone.
I'll make sure he's in a few episodes just facing towards me. So all you see is the back of his big bald head.
We should get too bad like I was gonna say too bad plastic masks are probably bad for babies. Just wearing like Batman masks.
That would be really funny though. I was thinking about like pretending that Brayden was him at some point, being like, this is my baby.
All great ideas. Anyway, the baby is coming.
Yes.
It's labor watch 2023.
He'll be here anytime now, hopefully within the next week. I've been doing everything I can to make it happen.
So we'll make it happen somehow. So if you're listening, do what you can. Thoughts and prayers. Heather gets this baby out of her body.
Yes, please. I wanna sleep on my back again.
Okay, that's all we got. Thank you for listening. We love you for all of your support, and we'll see you on the flippity flip.
Later.